My question is to the Prime Minister and asks, what is the government doing to reduce spending?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable David Seymour.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, up and down this country over the last 6 years, people in small businesses and farms and families have had to tighten their belts as the government unleashed its own. Over the last 18 months, we've had a government that is committed to being as careful with taxpayer money as taxpayers have to be with theirs. And, for example, in Budget 2025, the government realised $4.8 billion in annual operating savings and reprioritisations. In Budget 24, that figure was $4.4 billion for a total of $9.2 billion in annual savings that the government has made so far. We've also set the road ahead by committing ourselves to only $2.4 billion a year in annual operating allowances. That compares with a $3.5 billion annual operating allowance that the previous Finance Minister had allowed himself.
Supplementary. What are some of the tough choices that the government has had to make to achieve savings?
Well, Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, as I have mentioned, people up and down New Zealand have faced tough choices, largely because the government refused to make them for too long and spikes inflation, which spikes interest rates. This government, in the last 18 months, has made choices such as halving the cost of the school lunch program while achieving over 99% on-time delivery and student satisfaction at a rate of 73%. Pretty good, most parents who prepare lunches would say. We're building a new medical school, but we're managing to do that for $200 million less taxpayer contribution than first proposed. And when it comes to pay equity, we've managed to focus the scheme on actual gender discrimination while saving $2.7 billion per year for taxpayers. Mr Speaker, we finally have a government showing the same fiscal responsibility that people in firms, farms and families have had to for so long while those guys let inflation out of control.
Supplementary. Why does reducing government spending matter for New Zealanders?
Mr Speaker, the government can only get money by taxing New Zealanders. Sometimes it borrows money, but then it has to tax New Zealanders in the future with interest. For example, the additional debt taken on in the period that Grant Robertson was Finance Minister, for example, is now costing New Zealand taxpayers $3.7 billion per year in interest. We are reducing the burden of taxation on Kiwi families and investing in things that matter, such as giving Pharmac the single biggest uplift in funding for medicines in New Zealand history. Having smaller government, having less waste, means that the Reserve Bank can take pressure off interest rates and therefore take pressure off families, allow people to spend more and create more jobs.
Supplementary. Can New Zealanders expect more savings in the future?
Mr Speaker, not only can New Zealanders expect more savings, but they are absolutely essential. If we want this to be a country where people can recognise and realise their dreams to flourish in their own way, they cannot do it with the yoke of the government on their back. They cannot do it with enormous interest bills on past governments' borrowing, and they cannot do it with taxes stretching far into the future. They must have a smaller, more efficient government that takes less of the pie, leaving more for everyone else.